A day full of hope and anticipation for many university students. Graduation ceremonies are underway this week at UNB campuses in Fredericton and St. John. But international conflicts and rising fees are making the future uncertain for some students. Eddie Campbell is the president of UNB, and he's taken a break from handing out diplomas to talk to us today from Fredericton. Mr. Campbell, good to see you. Libyan students at the university have been waiting to find out whether or not UNB would be able to support them during a difficult time. What can the university do to give them help?
Well, you're quite right. It's a very difficult time for these students, and we will step in with emergency funding to look after them until the situation with the Libyan government accounts abroad get unfrozen and available to help this group of people.
Is there more the wider community could be or should be doing to help these students while they're here in Fredericton?
I think our governments have an interest in helping out. The university is going to step forward in the first instance, but as we extend beyond the month of June, I think we have an opportunity to work together with some partners to help out these Libyan students.
There was a sense of a bit of hesitation on UNB's part. Was this something the university had to consider the longer-term implications of?
No, I don't think there was a hesitation. We've been talking about how we will be able to respond. It's a very difficult time for this group of students. They have friends and loved ones back in Libya, and it's very hard to find out what's happening to them. So it is, in fact, a time of great stress. Some of the students who communicated with me are finding it very difficult to study, for example.
It is a difficult time, certainly for those students, as you point out. But, you know, the issue of tuition is a broader concern for students, not just at UNB, but at universities all across this region. I know that UNB and St. Thomas are both increasing tuition this year by $200. Why that amount?
Well, in the case of UNB, we felt strongly that we had a responsibility to balance our budget. We're in year 2 of a multi-year plan to tackle a structural deficit at the university. That's when our expenses rise faster than our revenues, and that necessitates quite a lot of cuts at the university. We've done $18 million over the last 6 years in expense reductions. So in order to be responsible managers, we felt obliged, in fact, to raise the tuition fees to help balance the budget this year. There's
also, of course, the I think it's a $150 fee to support the new Curry Center, a beautiful building. That's where the graduation ceremonies are taking place. But that added burden is something students weren't too happy about.
Yes, and I fully understand that. It is a real concern to us. It's always a measure of last resort to make the university more expensive to the students. We don't want to have any barriers in place of students being able to come to our university. So it is a big concern to us as well.
Is there any reconsideration of the wisdom of that center if it's costing the university that much to support?
Well, let me go back to when the center was being designed. We talked to our students. At that time, it was imagined the building would cost $25 million, and our students were unwilling to support it at that amount. And they said they would be willing to fill the gap if it was a $40 million building, and so we had a deal at that time. That did entail the paying of a fee.
Can you tell me a bit about the tuition outlook for students who are starting at UNB this year? Is the reality that they're going to face yearly tuition increases going forward?
It's too early to tell. The universities in the province will be negotiating with our government to come up with a 4-year memorandum of understanding that will provide us with stable funding. And I expect that will allow us to provide a student with a forward look at what their tuition rates might be in the event they do choose to come here.
Well, I know it is a busy week for you. I won't keep you any longer, but I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, me too. Take care.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye for now.
Eddie Campbell is the president of the University of New Brunswick. I spoke with him from Fredericton.